speaking of spending time and ruining families, Dr. Disrespect came out with, if you don't know who he is, he's a YouTuber who plays video games for a living, and he was caught texting or messaging something like that on Twitch, an underage girl back in 2017, which is why his Twitch contract was broken off. This was like a big news. I've never watched him. Maybe I've watched him like once. I think I've watched some highlights of him. I don't think I've ever watched him live, but I think I have seen some highlights of him. He seems really funny. Like, I get why he got so famous and so popular, but he's a scumbag. A lot of people are. Like, we are all fallen people, so it's not on me to judge how much of a scumbag he is. That's for the big men upstairs. That's not for me to pass judgment, because Jesus says that, like, when he's talking to the crowd who wants to stone, I believe it's the prostitute to death, and he says, he who hasn't sinned cast the first stone, and nobody throws a stone because we're all sinners. So I'm not judging him. I do want to talk about this though, because I think it's an interesting thing to just remember. These people on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, these people that maybe you might look up to, that you might admire, they're men, and they're human men in the sense that they're not only men. They could be women too, but they're man. Like, we're all just man. Every single person, human. That's what I mean. We're just human. Make sure that you are watching these people and you're not admiring these people. Don't idolater them. Don't make idols out of these people, because they are not. They're not people to be looked up to. Especially, anybody, me included, especially me. I have a worldview that I'm trying to impart on you that I know is right, because I live it, and I am an example for my ideas, and that's why I know my ideas are good, and that's why you will know my ideas are good. When I do this long enough, you will know that I will be able to get them all out, and you will know that my ideas are good, and that my ideas are right, and that they're working, and that I can prove to you that they work. That's one of the things with this motivational type podcast where I talk about a lot of things. If this podcast doesn't work and I give up on it and I quit, then the ideas that I was putting across in this podcast don't work, and they failed. And so then my ideas were bad. So follow people whose ideas are good, and don't, they're not idols. I guess the only idol would be Jesus. So don't make idols out of these strange people. The Dr. Disrespect, he's just a guy. I think actually that's his name, a guy. So he's just a guy, literally and figuratively. And don't look up to them. Don't make idols out of them. They're just people. They play video games. They just make videos. They might just be good at making videos. That doesn't mean you need to take their opinion seriously. And even if you have good ideas, at least my ideas I believe are good, just take them as they are, and then take those ideas and then do your own thinking about them and turn that into your own worldview. And that's how you should live. Don't look up to these people, because we're all rotten scumbags, and it's a good reminder of it. It's also a good reminder why you don't give in to your base desires. Obviously, what he's doing is far beyond what I think most people's base desires are. This is like crazy stuff. I think he was 20 years older than the girl, but at the time, or something like that, almost 20 years older than the girl. But it's like, that's why you don't give in to your base desires. I talk about this all the time on the podcast, is learn to sacrifice. Stop giving in to your base desires, because they can control you in a way where you will look back and you won't even know who you are. This is 7 years ago too. Like, that's the thing too. This happened in 2017. We are all offered forgiveness from the Jesus dying on the cross for us. But that doesn't mean that like what he did wasn't wrong. So it's just, people can change, but stop giving into your base desires. You're so much better than that. You literally actually are. You actually are designed, and you were made to be better than that. There's a version of you that could exist that's so much better than the version of you that exists now. And you just have to become and live into that version. You just have to figure out who that version is. And the last thing is, power corrupts. There's that line from Batman or The Dark Knight where you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain, which is why my dream with any of this stuff, if any of this stuff were to ever pop off and I was making a bunch of money off of it, once I had enough money to just disappear and make enough money off the 10% or 7% that I would make every year on my investments, I'm gone. I'm ghost. You'll never hear from me again. You might see like a sighting, like the Yeti or the Loch Ness monster. You might like see me like that, but I'm out of here. No, I think that you have to. I think that quote is a little cliche, but it's very much true. I think I've found that typically most people, you end up letting you down. And so you have to, like, I might, like, my ideas, you might not like them, and I might let you down one day, but hopefully I die a hero and I just leave. Not die, I don't want to be dead, but I just want to just give it all up, because I like making videos, and I like doing this. I do like doing this, but I think I'd have an easy time stopping because I have a lot of other things I'd like to do. Maybe not. Maybe I would. Maybe I'm just lying. So just that's my opinion on Dr. Disrespect situation. Is we're just men, and don't follow these people. Don't trust them with all your heart. We're all flawed creatures, and stop giving to your base desires.